You see, instead of spending my money wisely and purchasing cubes that can further my speed cubing, I spent my precious dollars on a bunch of novelty items. What's good? It's DNF Daniel, and welcome to perhaps my largest unboxing on the channel. To celebrate the 50th anniversary of the Rubik's Cube, I hopped from retail store to retail store to gather as many Rubik's products as possible. There will be timestamps in the description if you don't want to watch me unbox every cube, so without further ado, let's get started. Here's a closer look at what I'll be unboxing today. We have the Disney 100 collab, the Rubik's Pyramid, the Candy Cube, the old Rubik's Speed, the 50s Retro Cube, the Professor, the Classic 3x3, the Master, the new Rubik's Speed Cube, the Pocket Cube, the 2x2, the Tower, and the Rubik's Phantom. But let's get started with the Classic 3x3. I did notice the updated packaging for the 3x3 and 2x2, but I don't think there's any much else of a difference between the puzzles themselves. Actually, I might be wrong. The tiles do look thicker, and the black lining around each of the colors does look a little bold. That's crazy. The turning is not as bad as I imagined it to be. There is a notable difference between the old and new version of the Rubik's Cube. Actually, wait, let me pull out my other Rubik's Cube that I have. Yeah, see, I was right. It does look way rounder than the old one. And I don't know if flimsy is the right word, but it is very much easier to turn compared to this stable cube. And even something as simple as the sound is different. But yeah, they did upgrade this 3x3. But overall, is the new and updated 3x3 a cop or a drop compared to the old one? I'd say cop. This is really, really good. And I'm gonna be for real, if I started out with this 3x3, I would have been way more motivated to start speed cubing sooner. Looking at the track record of the 3x3s Rubik's has produced, this is really good. So now that we've covered our bases, let's move on to the 2x2. For some reason, this cube feels a little smaller than the other ones that they made, but it's similar to the 3x3 in terms of tiles and borders. One small problem I do notice though is that the 2x2 catches a little with something inside. Yeah, just like that. But honestly, the 3x3 is subject to doing that a little as well, but the problem is way more apparent in the 2x2. But as for durability, looks good to me. Is this cube a cop or drop? Honestly, it's a cop, but I'd rather explore other options if I'm gonna buy from a retail store. What's sad is that I get these times on a normal speed cube. Overall, the 2x2 is no more different than the 3x3, but looking at it from a beginner's perspective, it's not that bad. So let's move on to the Rubik's Master. This one and the Professor don't have updated boxes for the 50th anniversary, but similar to the 3x3 and 2x2, I'm pretty sure the design and hardware has changed. That's actually crazy how easy it is to turn out of the box. I was expecting it to be stiff and locky, but this is the exact opposite. And I don't know if you heard that clicking, but it is kind of similar to the 3x3 and 2x2 with that. And I'm gonna be so for real right now, I've never held a Rubik's 4x4. What I can also say is that the inner layers and outer layers feel very similar in terms of turnability. Ooh, that does not look good. Yeah, this should be the last thing I'm doing when I'm unboxing a cube. Disassembling and reassembling this cube took way more time than it should have. It immediately went from cop to drop when I felt that internal. But I will put that on me for turning it like a speed cube. I still want to do a solve on it though, just to give it a chance. Having done my one and probably my only solve on this thing, I still had to remain very careful as to how I was turning it, because if I turned those internals again, it would take twice as long to fix it. And I will admit, I'm not the best at disassembling and reassembling cubes, but still, it should be the last thing on your mind when you purchase a Rubik's brand. But honestly, this cube isn't terrible, the timing just could not have been any better. But anyways, let's just move on to the 5x5. How the heck do I even open this? If this cube pops on me like the 4x4, I'm crashing out. Oh god. Yeah, this is exactly the same as the old Rubik's 5x5. I mean, yeah, take a look at the major difference in stickers and tiles. Well, I guess I can say it's a little different because I remember the edges being a little hollow. Ooh, this is magnificent to turn. I don't know, guys. Should I put myself through a solve? I don't think I really want to. You know what? It's my fault for being born in the same century as this cube. Is it safe to say that this cube is an immediate drop? Yes, it is very safe to say. But it's also safe to say that this will stay in the cubing drawer and never see the light of day again. So yeah, if you haven't already, please drop a like on this video. It took so long to scramble and solve that thing. Anyways, let's move on to the Rubik's Pyramid. So you would think that this puzzle turns like a pyraminx on the tips, but no, it turns on the edge. So yes, it does shapeshift, and I actually just scrambled this without knowing how to solve it. Okay, this is getting a little tricky. Oh. You know, not knowing how to solve this, it only took a few minutes to actually figure out. It's very intuitive and fun to do, but I wouldn't spend $15 on it personally. Is this cube a copper drop though? Honestly, I think it's somewhere in the middle. It's not a speed cube, of course, but it's fun to step away from that for a little bit and try something different. So while we're on the topic of cubes that are built different, let's hit the Rubik's Tower next. Actually, one thing I find funny about the tower and the pyramid is that they're both tiled, unlike the 5x5. Turning it fresh out of the box like this reminds me of the older 3x3. Alright, I got the middle pieces done. Okay, so this was way easier to solve than the pyramid. I only solved this cube so easily because these pieces over here function like a 2x2, and these pieces up here function like a square 1. In my opinion, it's way more fun to solve than the pyramid because it adds another level of complexity. Moving right along to the next unboxing, let's look at a last-minute retail pickup, the Magic Star. The reason why you didn't see this in the beginning of the video was because I started filming a couple days ago. I found this today at Ross for about $8. Looks like both pieces of this fidget toy turn into stars. Okay, so that's cool. You can fit one of the stars inside this 2x2 block, but it's kind of weird that the colors are wrong. Oh, so it can also function as an infinity cube. That's pretty cool. They weren't kidding when they called this a fidget cube. If you're really into that kind of stuff, it's a cop, but if you're looking for a twisty puzzle, this is a major drop. But I won't deny that this is a cool thing to grab if you're a Rubik's enthusiast. So while we're on the topic of obscure Rubik's products, let's look at the Rubik's Candy Cube. Oh, and as expected, there's candy inside. The container is nice for what it is, but that's not the point of this product. Let's try the candy. I don't normally show my face on unboxing videos, but this will have to be an exception. Okay, so let's pop 5 in my mouth right now. Let me go spit this out real fast. If you buy this product for any reason, it better be because of the container it comes in. Seriously, you don't need to ask me if it's a copper drop. Yeah, so now that that's over, let's take a look at the Rubik's Pocket Cube next. You know, if this cube had tiles instead of stickers, that would be kind of cool, but honestly, that's a waste of plastic. So yeah, that took a toll on my hands. I do admit, this cube is supposed to be a novelty item, but it's really hard to turn in itself. The experience of scrambling and solving it was definitely not pleasant. Is it better than the 5x5? 1000%. But is it a copper drop? Definitely drop. So let's not waste any more time and get into some fun cubes. Let's take a look at the Disney 100 collab. Now this cube looked extremely nice. We have the Disney 100 logo in the front, Elsa, Woody, Mickey Mouse, Snow White, and Simba. Tell me why this picture cube is more speed cubing friendly than the 4x4. I am also digging the reflective stickers and the silver design. Okay, so solving this thing might be a fun experience or my worst nightmare. Okay, I think I did it. And I'll admit, this was a blast to solve. The reflective stickers are ingenious, the characters on the cube look good, and the turnability is amazing. And overall, I had a pleasant experience with the puzzle. This is definitely a cop. So let's continue on to the next puzzle, the Rubik's Phantom. So the concept of this cube is that it's all black and you have to use the heat from your fingers to see the colors. Okay, so I can low-key see some of the colors without having touched the tiles yet, but let's see what it's all about. Oh, okay, I get the vision. It just looks a little dirty. And I'm gonna be honest, most of the cubes that Rubik's has produced recently have upgraded in turning quality. Surprisingly, I like the unique concept of this cube. It's definitely a step in a different direction for Rubik's, and I'm low-key all for it. Is this a cop or a drop though? I'd say it's a cop. Up next is the 50th anniversary Rubik's Retro Cube. Everything about this puzzle reminisces on the old hardware and design, and that includes the packaging, but the main difference is on the yellow side. The stickers are a reflective gold color, and the logo is found on here instead of the white side. Yup, even the turning is retro. Is this a good novelty item? Indeed it is. Am I supposed to be speed solving on it? Probably not. Is this a cop or a drop though? Definitely a cop. And even if you only focus on speed cubing, this is a good novelty item or a good display piece in your collection. Like, does this not look cool to you? And while we're even on the topic of speed cubing, let's move into the next unboxing, being the old Rubik speed cube. You know, now that I'm looking at this, it looks almost entirely the same as the updated classic 3x3. It's pretty dry but really fast out of the box. Overall, this cube is pretty good. It can feel a little uncontrollable at times, and it does get a little bit locky, but is it a cop or drop? Well, it might be a drop considering what's coming next. Let's close our unboxing with the new Rubik Speed Cube. As you can see, the colors are very bright and the turnability is insane. The edge magnets are visible and the cube does need a little bit of slowing down, but this is just out of the box. And I will tell you right now, this is the biggest cop in today's unboxing video. The colors are very pleasing to look at, the turnability is insane, and this could probably get anyone into the world of speed cubing. The glow up from this to this is insane, and being a new flagship that you can find at Target for $15, I think it's a steal. Whether you're brand new to cubing or average sub 7, this is definitely a must-have for your collection. Here's everything I unboxed today, from the most diabolical drops to the most magnificent cops. And if you stayed until the very end, thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. This is Daniel, signing off.